So, Brother Olu, thank you so much for coming on and participating in our Setsi YouTube channel. We really appreciate you, and we appreciate all that you do for our community.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Okay, so as always, what we do, we open up with our affirmation to the ancestors. So we acknowledge the original stewards of the various lands that we are on. We acknowledge our ancestors. We acknowledge all those who toiled without compassion or compensation. We acknowledge all the elders and community stalwarts whose shoulders we stand on as we build, share, learn together for our collective liberation and sovereignty. So if you can do us the honors, my dear brother, just to introduce yourself to our listeners and viewers and tell us about your remarkable work.
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Olu Villasa. I'm the manager of Black Entrepreneurship Alliance, which is a co-initiative established by Black Creek Community Health Center and partnering with York University, specifically Y-Space, which is their entrepreneurship hub, TD Community Engagement Center, which is the bridge between university and community, which is Jane and Finch, as well as Schulich Executive Ed, which is part of the school, Schulich School of Business. And so what BEA does, Black Entrepreneurship Alliance, we're a non-for-profit incubator supporting and enhancing and amplifying Black entrepreneurs as well as professionals to start successful ventures within Southern Ontario. And so that is what I do. So I oversee portfolios of agri-food, food and beverage entrepreneurs trying to get their products into stores, tech, really working on your prototyping, also getting investors, as well as accredited skill development. So we provide micro-credentials for folks trying to upskill themselves, reskill themselves, get into the workforce, and get digital badges as well as micro-credentials. So that is what I do in a nutshell.
Beautiful. That's amazing. We definitely need that for our budding entrepreneurs coming up in our community. Amazing. And if you can articulate your personal mission and vision for us.
So yeah, my mission again is everything Black, supporting everything Black when it comes to economics. And so where we see ourselves as an economic development organization. So it's really looking at how do I improve Black populations, Canadian populations, with their economics, increasing their quality of life, as well as pushing the envelope. So again, how I see building a very strong and vibrant community is through business, is through working and uplifting our Black-led and Black operating businesses within community, which then has a multiplying effect of hiring our own Black people to work for folks, and as well as increasing their opportunities, whether it be in any type of sector. So that's what our whole mission and mandate is for BEA, is looking at economics, not just business, but also education, our culture when it comes to participating in the economy, as well as, of course, entrepreneurship.
And what inspires you about your work?
Honestly, what inspires me is seeing Black-led companies grow. That's what inspires me. We're at BEA, we're very founder focused. So again, we kind of see it's people over profit, essentially. And once you deal with the individual as a person, you see their business grow. And so for me, I love when I see someone that's coming from like a home-based business, they commercialize their idea, and then they scale up into a brick and mortar, or we have a Black tech founder that just comes with their MVP, gets some traction, scales up and gets investment through equity finance or even debt financing. So just seeing them kind of scale. So I just love it, actually, just when I supporting Black founders grow, as well as Black professionals. Once they get their micro credentials through our program, you see in them getting promoted, you see them having the confidence to apply for that bigger job, that promotion. So just pushing the needle forward is what gets me inspired.
Amazing. That's so encouraging too. Like I said, for the young ones, that really want to do it, but there's no direction. Just really quick, I started back in the day as a vegan chef, and back then you didn't really have 2013, 14, you didn't really have that support. But every time I interview, people like yourself, it just, warms my heart. But
Yeah,
I
no, and
definitely.
I was a product of that. Like again, when I was growing up, I call myself I'm a program baby. I was in a lot of programs. I was in Albion Boys and Girls Club, Leaders in Training. So that really, as I developed BEA, a lot of that ethos, a lot of that was informed by those gaps that there wasn't any programs meant for Black businesses, wasn't a lot of programs meant for Black professionals during that time. I put that into the ethos of BEA, and yeah, we're growing, but it's been a journey.
Oh yeah, it's never easy. And okay, so perfect, we're on that. What challenges and barriers have you faced? And how do you work to overcome those challenges and barriers?
Yeah, there is, of course, is a lot. As BA, how we started was because of those challenges and barriers, specifically geographically based. We started out at Jane and Finch, and we looked at it. The partners, Black Community Health Center, York University, looked at Jane and Finch as okay, historically disenfranchised from traditional institutions, working with them when it comes to banks, when it comes to knowledge sharing, when it comes to just capacity, resources, networks. It wasn't there. And so BEA is its first of its kind. We're a very comprehensive programming that's situated in Jane and Finch, but we also serve broader, so Southern Ontario. We serve at 2 points, hyper locally, which is Northwest Toronto, and then broader, which is Southern Ontario. And I think we're the first City of Toronto recognized incubator that services Northwest Toronto that uh isn't on university land. So we're situated actually at York Gate Mall, actually one of our offices. So we're really community oriented. So the challenges of course is systematic racism, as well as access to resources and capital. How we've been overcoming it is again is through our partners. We have a wide network, and how I see BA is like we're the Robin Hood. So we really establish networks outside of our community, and then we're bringing those resources back, and we're doing a slow buildup of it. And this is based off of my time kind of growing up into different programs, seeing, okay, this worked, this didn't work. And so implementing those things in BEA. And so hopefully we're working towards having our own infrastructure space somewhere in community to support the ongoing development of underrepresented talent when it comes to if you want to be a founder, which is an entrepreneur, or a professional working for a startup or business. So that's what we're doing, trying to do like a state of art facility to support that work. Again, um, barriers we could be coming up as a status quo. I think people are comfortable of how they do things, but I think it takes a lot of risk and innovation to think of new ways to connect to underserved communities as well as underserved founders. So that is me.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. And I don't live too far from there. I'm just under the bridge, Western Road in Finch. So I know your gate. I used to have a business there too many, many years ago.
Nice.
So that's amazing. That's awesome. And how do you feel about the future of social economy in Canada?
Hopeful. I think we are starting the embers, I think, with BEA, with Setsi and the networks from there. I think we're building up a nice foundation to support local economy, to support folks that it's not just also about profit, it's about that social impact as well, and having it weave throughout. And so for me, it's like I'm hopeful of the future. I do believe, well, I do know there are a lot of barriers when it comes to especially our area gentrification. And so how do we compete? How do we mitigate and manage that so we to ensure that the local businesses are there, do stay there, and do thrive and grow. So I am hopeful when it comes to the future of social economy.
Very good. I know what you're saying with the gentrification. I'm not in Canada right now, but I will be in about 4 weeks, and I can just imagine,
Yeah,
little by what's
it's
going on.
changing.
Think Mall. I mean, I've heard things, but that's for another day.
But again, I think with the good work of some of the local organizations and what we're doing, I am hopeful for that. But again, it's changes are happening, right? With transportation developments, it's just bound to happen. So how do we um mobilize and execute to ensure there is minimal displacement or no displacement at all, right? So
That's right. That's right. Well, young brains like you and that fighting spirit, it will get done for sure. So I'm excited. And what's your ultimate goal, and what does success look like to you?
my ultimate goal of BEA, um, again, I think the ultimate goal is that hey, we're I want to get to a point where it's not Black founders, it's just founders. I want to get to the point where we're not sectioned off as, yes, I think there's power in that, but I want to be not kind of labeled. It should be founders and professionals, and we come with our own skill set, our own talent, and we're just as good or even better than the general. So I think my mission for BEA is to not make this a flavor of the month, to make this a long-lasting legacy organization that supports underserved communities and pulls that label away from underserved communities where it's just communities. So essentially for me is BA, the ultimate goal is legacy, making it past the 30-year mark, making sure like, hey, we have those Black-led companies that can hire 80, 100 people, that we have those professionals that are just not at the entry level, that they're at C-suite and that leadership level, and really pushing that needle forward. So I think that is the ultimate goal. And I know you had a second point to that question. What was that question?
Yeah, just what does success look like to you?
Oh, I think just that. If I can take success looks like to me on both sides because we serve founders and professionals. Is on the founder side, I can take a home-based business. I can take something that is informal and formalize it and make it into a large corporation. How do I scale that? And then on the professional side, it's again, how do I take that young person um, in community and make them dream and actualize that dream and get them to that C-suite? And I think that is all around success, and how I see success is just pushing that needle forward. I think that's even within our slogan at BEA. We build against the odds because we know that there's obstacles and barriers, but we don't care. We're gonna we're gonna go through. And I think we're very scrappy. I think in the entrepreneurial ecosystem and even in the Black entrepreneurial ecosystem, we're known to being very scrappy. We're known to being very inclusive and community oriented. So yeah, that's success, and that's how where we're going with BEA.
That's it. It's that fire, it's that drive. And that's
Yeah.
just enough to open the doors.
Yes.
Honestly, the doors are going to be scared. They're going to be like, okay, we'll open the door for you.
Honestly, I could care less for a door. I'm breaking in
You're
anywhere
bringing it
possible,
in.
right?
Mhm.
Because I think
That's
that's
it.
being an entrepreneur. You're taking those risks, right? You have to take
That's
those
right.
risks to get those rewards, right? So yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, that's amazing. So at this time, do you have any closing thoughts or calls to action for us?
Yes, call to action. I would say let's get political. Call your counselor, call your MP, call your MPP. Let's not make this a flavor of the month. We're here. There's Black founders here, there's Black professionals here, and we are part of the Canadian ecosystem, the Canadian tapestry, the mosaic. And so we have a lot to contribute, and we want full access to participate in those economies. So I would say everybody, it's a call to action from Black youth to Black seniors. Let's get political, and to build up that environment for everybody to participate, because again, that is BEA's mission. We want to be inclusive and also improve the quality of life through economic participation, for Black, for African, for Caribbean, for Black Canadian communities, Indigenous communities. We want participation, full participation. So please, let's get political, as well as support your Black business. It starts there. So if you see someone that has a business, support them. If you see someone trying to do career advancement, support them. And that is it. That is us in a nutshell.
Love it, love it, love it. Economic participation. That is like the driving force for 2024 and beyond, because they're going to see that we mean business and we're not here to play. We're establishing, businesses, structures, things that are actually progressing in our community. So like you said, talking to your councilmen, your mayors, whoever you need to stay and say, look, we're not just talking anymore, we're actually doing. So we mean business. So amazing. Thank you, Olu, so much for this amazing interview. I know a lot of people will be inspired once it hits YouTube. So what I will do, I will close the way that we began by acknowledging the original stewards of the various lands that we are on. We acknowledge our ancestors. We acknowledge all those who toiled without compassion or compensation. We acknowledge all the elders and community stalwarts whose shoulders we stand on as we build, share, learn together for our collective liberation and sovereignty. On behalf of Setsi, thank you so much. It was very inspirational, and I'll definitely be checking you guys out once I retouch back, for sure.
Please do. Thank you so much.
All right. All the best. Take care. Thank you.